Grew up in that church, I swear I'm living, my mom proud of me. Not slipping on no Pradas, but I'm still a walking prodigy. I remember days of hitting licks with no apologies. Now I follow Jesus, I don't care if you won't follow me. Neighbors like, I see you, I'm like, nah, that's just a man in me. Ain't no need to vent, I talk to him to keep my sanity. I got in that water, it got deeper than a manatee. Wrestling my flesh cause I can't be like the humanity. I'm my brother's keeper, I support him like a vanity. I got on my knees, I had to pray until he answered me. Devil tried to dance with me, but ain't no way to cancel me. Seeking out direction, so I'm always where I'm supposed to be. I know they gon' notice me, can't let them demons close to me. I pull out that sword, get on they neck just like a rosary. I pull out that book and have them shook, it be a casualty. Time is not gon' wait for me, I turn these words to melodies. Lord, don't take your breath from me, gon' make it to my destiny. You know I was shackled, called his name, and then he set me free like Holy Spirit had your way with me. Nothing they could do with me. Jesus, he ain't make believe. My God ain't forsaking me. Please don't be mistaking me. I go where you taking me. Might bend, but ain't no breaking me. Sticks and stones to break your bones, but you know that word, say your life. I got picky, I was chose, I'm a living sacrifice. At my highs and at my lows, you know I'm a step for Christ. Ain't no darkness on my path, ain't no way to dim my light. I know God, he picked me up, cause I've been laying down my life. I got covered in the blood, and it's healing in the stripes. Can't no weapon ever prosper, I ain't worried about a knife. Big faith, big God, demons don't not to play with me. Big stepper in the spirit, in a different pedigree. Pull up, hop out, flesh is looking dead to me. Ooh, looking dead to me, ooh, looking dead to me. Big faith, big God, demons don't not to play with me. Big stepper in the spirit, in a different pedigree. Pull up, hop out, flesh is looking dead to me. Looking dead to me, ooh, looking dead to me.
Back in the place to be on the 103. We live, open your eyes, all day, every day, holding it down, yeah. I send this song out to you know who you are, yeah. Thank you for holding me down, I appreciate you. I don't even rap like this no more, but I'll take it back for you, yeah, much love, I used to be a nice dude, Bible in high school, but that was 12th grade, before then it was...
What's going on, welcome, Jorge, what's going on, my man? Welcome to the stream. Make sure y'all get y'all snacks, y'all drinks, use the bathroom if you need to. We are going to be starting in 2 minutes, so I will see y'all then.
Revelations, my imagination played out what I was reading. I don't wanna go to hell with the demons. Take me to the heavens, trying to find God at 11, 13, 15. Didn't really happen till around 16, 17. I was lost, feeling empty inside. Knew that I needed God, but I didn't know where to find him, and I was fed up. I wasn't trying to live, about to jump off a bridge. Thank God for saving the kid. Y'all know what it is. Back when I was doing everything I had to did. Had a life change, that's something I can't forget. Had a life change, that's something I can't forget. Had a light is, y'all know what it is. Back when I was doing everything I had to did. Had a life change, that's something I can't forget. Had a life change, that's something I can't forget. Y'all know what it is, y'all know what it is, yeah. You know who you are. Y'all know who you are.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome. I know y'all see the title. I know y'all see it. KO. What's going on, my man? Kinda a wild title. Yeah, I know. But before we jump into it, I'm gonna need somebody to play my intro music. Hit it one time for me, please. Y'all like that? That is the new title for the Conservative Christian Show, which is what we are going to be calling the Monday and Tuesday segments of me live streaming. But I know y'all like, man, that's a wild title. I know it is. I know. It's not about me. It's not about me. I titled it that because Awaken with JP, so JP Sears, he actually dropped a video that says I changed my mind about God, and here's why. So I want to watch that first with you guys today. Nice, well done. Oh, for the intro, thank you. I'll get the crowd clap going. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. We are going to be doing a shorter stream tonight. I'm going to be hopping off like around 9, maybe a little bit before then, but you know, it is what it is. But let me go ahead and get this video going because I'm going to try to do as much as we can in the short span that I am available. So let's go ahead, hop into this video and see what he has to say.
I changed my mind about God. I was wrong. So accordingly, in this video, I want to share with you what I used to believe, what I believe now, and what made me change my mind along the way. And also, very importantly, I want to share with you a few thoughts of mine that I have that will help us bring more God not only into our lives, but also the world around us, which seems like it needs a lot more God right now.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, sir.
Living in a world where Satan reigns and you and I and our families have to suffer the consequences doesn't really feel appealing to me. And also, quick disclaimer, this video is not intended to be a comedy video. And if that offends you, pray about it. So what I used to think about God that I now say, yeah, I was wrong about, I used to have a lot of judgment about religion and Christianity, thinking like, it's not bad, but it's like, dude, that's so outdated and like, get with it. Why are you religious when you could be spiritual? And along with that, I became very inundated in the spiritual movement. So like spirituality, not religion. Like the evolved thinkers are spiritual, not religious. They're also evolved enough to always have to tell you that they're spiritual, not religious. That was me. And while I was in there, I will honestly say I got a lot of benefit from spiritual teachings, like different teachers, different books, different philosophies. I got a lot of benefit from that. But when I look back,
right, Jorge?
I was excluding some amazing traditional Christian values, beliefs of God, and ways of connecting with God that I now really value. But out of what I would call spiritual arrogance.
You said sounds very hippie. Yeah, all of that does. You know what's crazy? Because like before I was Christian, I used to think those, like, I didn't think it was hippie, but you would hear certain things and you'd be like, oh, manifestation, that sounds kind of cool, you know, because I want to be successful and I want to manifest all this crap. And all those other things where they'd be like, this crystal, it brings abundance of money into your life. It's all stupid. It's all stupid. See, I thought you saw the China Black conversion. I think you mean Black China conversion to Christianity video. So I know she converted, but I never saw like the actual video of it. But we can actually watch that after this, because this is only 25 minutes long. So yeah, we could definitely jump into that when this video is over.
I was excluding them, just judging them to be, oh, that's old, outdated stuff, and like, nah, y'all need to get spiritual like me. And with that, I didn't believe in the immense power of prayer. I used to think, well, prayer's probably a good thing. It'll maybe give you a more positive mood, a more positive outlook. But I didn't truly believe in the power of prayer, where people are directly asking God for God's support and then receiving that support from God. Yeah, I didn't really believe that it actually happened. And in a minute, I'll get to...
Man, I have to tell y'all like a quick story, because the fact that he mentioned he didn't believe in the power of prayer. Okay. So when I first came over to Christianity, not too long after that, one of my family members got into a really bad car accident to the point where like he was on life support, and like the doctor straight up was like, yeah, he's more than likely not making it, right? My brother called me like to tell me what was going on, or I'm sorry, no, he texted me to let me know what was going on. And I was like, yo, what? And he's agnostic, right? So he was just like, hey, if you could pray for him, it'd help a lot right now. So not only did I start praying for my cousin, but I told the Christian group I was in what was going on. They all prayed for him as well. Man, when I tell y'all within a few hours, I checked back in with my brother and I was just like, hey, what's going on with such and such? Is he doing good? And he's just like, yeah, it's crazy. He's actually doing fine now. Like, they thought he wasn't going to make it. It was like touch and go. They really thought he was going to be out of here. And now he's fine. And now he's like, not long after that, he was like healed up and he went back home. It was crazy. Like, me first coming into Christianity and then that happening, I was already believing it, but that just was like the nail going down in the coffin for me. I was like, ooh, this really is real. Ooh. Yeah, respect the presence of God. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have to. Man, it was amazing. Like, prayer is extremely powerful. If y'all not on it, which I already know most of y'all who watch me, I know y'all do it, but for those that don't, I would recommend to start praying. Kale said, oh, you're talking about Black China's? You watched her baptism, kind of cringe at her description of her story. Her story is very interesting. Like, she was your typical, like, stripper turned video vixen girl, rapper baby mamas, you know. Then, she got, like, her body done. So she started getting all these, like, fillers and injections and crap. I think the most craziest part is when she got them satanic tattoos. That was wild. I was like, I don't know why you would do that. And then she called herself a Satanist at one point. So, you know, to give all that up and be like, yeah, I'm Christian now, that is only by the power of God.
To directly telling you what my beliefs about God now are, but first, what changed me? What happened? What I see that changed my mind?
Yes, sir. What changed you?
One observation I've had over the past 3 years, especially,
it's a good flip.
Pandemic. Over the past 3 years, I found myself accidentally getting more Christian. Like, without even intentionally trying, like setting
accidentally?
out on a mission, like, hey, I want to become more Christian. It's just been effortlessly happening for me. Now, I don't think I'm unique there because I've seen a lot of people and I've heard a lot of people telling me similar stories. So I asked the question, why are people getting more Christian without even trying? Here's what I believe to be true about that. The presence of evil and Satan that evil emanates from has never been more obvious, at least in my lifetime. The past 3 years, evil isn't hiding anymore. It's coming at us through authoritarianism, movements, people, groups, companies, governments, trying to invade our minds, invade our God-given free will. So as that's become more obvious, I think there's a natural polarity that happens. If you're not someone who's willing to do the devil's bidding, if you're not someone who's willing to propagate evil, then there's a natural occurrence that happens. When you're in the presence of evil, you polarize to the other extreme. Like you may not even be consciously aware of it, but the presence of evil makes you lean away. And then, therefore, what direction are you leaning towards? Well, that would be the direction of God. Certainly the opposite of evil, the opposite of Satan. So I think that's seeing the presence of evil. That's why I've just accidentally been getting more Christian, why so many other people are. Because right now I think the evil that's in this world is doing a great service of driving a lot of people to find God in ways that they previously hadn't.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We could say, hey, there is an attempt to bring communism all over the world. Certainly in the United States, we don't call it that, but it is that. And it's happening all over the world. And there's a reason why communists have their number one objective to disconnect people from God, where they ban religions.
Yeah, he's not wrong at all.
Right now it's more like discouraging it, shaming it. But with full-on communism, they ban religion. Why is that? Because they don't want people having faith in a real higher power. So if you can get people to disconnect from God, if you get people to disconnect from the teachings of God and the ways of God, the belief in God, then those communists get to be your higher power.
Yep.
Honestly, they make a crappy higher power. They don't even make good fertilizer. That's not a good substitute for God. But for people who want to control you, which is what evil is, anytime someone tries to control you in a way that's not in your best interest, that's what I call evil. So for the force of evil, that is communism, wanting to control you, they realize people who have a faith in a real higher power, God, they're not controllable. So we have to become their higher power. We need them to depend on us, not depending on their faith in God, but that we need them to depend on us, need us, be obedient to us, or else communism just doesn't work. And even when that happens, it still doesn't work, but nonetheless. Now, there's a lot I don't know, but one thing I do know is when you have faith in God, you are not controllable. You're not. The fear-mongering, the fear of death that ultimately all fear-mongering points to, like, hey, the climate's changing, the climate's going to kill you. Hey, look at this disease. Look at the death toll on the bottom of CNN. All that fear-mongering really preys on the fear of death that people have. But here's the deal. When you believe in God, you also therefore believe in the afterlife. You believe in heaven. So you don't really fear death the way
Facts.
you fear death if you believe there is no God. Why? Because you're like, well, okay, if I die, which I don't want to, but if I do, okay, I'm in heaven.
Yep.
It's actually beautiful. So the brave, bold freedom statement of it's better to die on your feet than live on your knees becomes something that people of faith will live by.
Yes,
Just like
sir.
communists,
Yes, sir.
globalists, anyone who wants to control you purposely tries to disconnect you from God, because God's way is freedom. Evil constricts, God frees.
Yep.
God gives us free will. That's our expression of freedom. That's God's way. Communists don't like that. Globalists don't like that, because God's way makes you uncontrollable to them. And we can...
The fact you, Gothics, and so many others were not forced into anything, all made free will choices. Yes, sir. Yes, we did. It's so funny when you hear people's like testimony stories, because everybody has a different story, right? So how Gothic said hers was just so random. It just seemed like Christianity kept popping up into her life to the point where like, what was it? The petting zoo at the church is what got her to the church. But the petting zoo isn't what kept her there. God kept her there, you know. Mine, if you guys watched my video about it, the demons messing with me. Now, can you imagine if I would have just gave in to whatever they was saying? When they was just like, roll over and look at me, blah. Can you imagine if I would have just did that at the time when I was like scared, didn't know what was going on? We wouldn't be doing this right now. I can tell you that much. But that's literally what pushed me into it. Like, all of that just pushed me straight to a Bible. That's ultimately what happened. So, yeah, we all made, like, our own choices one way or another. And it's weird the things that pushed us in this direction. But those things didn't keep us here. Like, God kept us here. So, it's very interesting. Also, to tap in on the point that he's making where he's like, you know, we're not afraid of death. He's right. Like, I'm not afraid to die. It's just like, yo, I already know where I'm about to go when my time comes. However, just to be real with y'all, what I am afraid of, though, is whatever pain I might feel before dying. So, for example, if I'm stuck in a house burning down, right? My fear is all that pain I'm going to feel from the heat of my skin and my body melting. You know what I'm saying? I'm afraid of what that feels like. But ultimately going to heaven, yeah, I'm not afraid of that at all. Like, I'm cool with all that. So, yeah. I think that's just always what's funny to me. It's because I know, like, where somebody pulls a gun on you and you get shot, I'm afraid of the pain from the bullets. Like, all the blood gushing out, you're just like, Ultimately, I know where I'm going. That's the only thing I got an issue with. I just don't want to feel all that pain beforehand. You said scared for a minute. I've seen you run as a predator. Gaming, you are brave. Like, those are different. Those are two different things. God would take away that pain. Look, I would hope so. One can only hope, right? If I had it my way, it'd be like, yo, make it like peacefully in my sleep where I don't feel nothing. I just go to sleep. I have a dream, but my dream is really me just going up in heaven. I'd be so cool with that.
You can see that tyrannical authoritarians attempt to disconnect people from their faith in God. It's certainly at play now. Now, statistically, 50 years ago, 98% of Americans believed in God. Today, statistically, just 81% of Americans believe in God. And then from a political perspective, it's actually interesting to see that just 64% of Democrats believe in God, while 92% of Republicans believe in God.
So hold on. Let's go back just a smidge, just to have this on the screen. I can't get both on the screen together? All right, whatever. See how they said the Democrats, 64% actually believe in a God? It makes me wonder, though, because a lot of them will say that they are Christian, but then they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm totally for abortion. Or, oh, yeah, I'm totally for this. Things that are very unbiblical. So, like, if that's truly what they are, they're definitely progressive Christians, which aren't true Christians to begin with. So I don't even really believe this number right here, if I gotta be real with you. For real. Hold on, what? Are you serious? You've literally made me braver, not joking. I've been led here. No clue exactly how, but I'm definitely believing we riding together. KO, yo. Aww. Man, I don't even know what to say. That's such a nice thing. I don't even know what to say. I'm definitely taking a picture of this stuff. Because I always take pictures when y'all say nice things to me. But like, all I can say is that I'm glad I was able to make you a braver person. And I do believe we all are riding together. There's a reason y'all watch me. There's a reason we all sit here during my live streams and watch all this together. There's a reason all y'all here. There's a reason y'all do the super chats. Because even though I tell y'all stuff's going to charity, you don't have to. You don't have to do super chat. There's a reason y'all do all of this. I'm glad I was able to do that for you, though. Man, that's amazing. That's God right there, though. That's God. That's God.
Well, 92% of
that's
Republicans
amazing.
Believe in God. And of course, right now, as it stands, the evil, the satanic ways,
crazy.
the communist ways tend to be much more abundant on the Democrat side. So it's not too surprising that just 62% of Democrats believe in God. And specifically, we see the coercion to disconnect people from God playing out in all kinds of propaganda. The gender ideology propaganda, where they're attempting to get people to believe that God made mistakes, which is a fascinating way to basically get people to not believe in God, because if you believe in God, you probably believe God doesn't make too many mistakes. Like, hey, look at this junk between my legs. I'm the wrong gender. So they try to teach us your mind, what you want. You are right, God's wrong. God made a mistake. Dude, you're totally right about you should be a woman. God made a mistake, so, there probably is no God. But when we see all this gender ideology stuff that hinges on that principle that there probably was a God, he wouldn't be screwing up your gender now, would he? We see that coming at our kids all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And amongst other devious intentions behind that kind of ideology, I believe one of the principal ones at its core is to disconnect people from their faith in God. So here's what I believe.
Hold on, KL said, I've asked a couple to watch tonight, still hoping to see them. If not, maybe over the next few days they'll contact you. Hey, if it's in God's will, they'll be here. They'll definitely be here if it's in his will. If not, it just means it wasn't their time yet to watch. That's all. And now Jorge says the ones who come from the JFK era. Oh, you talking about when he was saying the pushing for the gender ideology? Is that what you're talking about? Speaking of the whole gender ideology thing, if you guys saw the news today, you saw that it turns out the trans, I don't know, was it a man or did it start out as a man or woman and then flipped? 'Cause that's the only thing, that is the only thing I'm confused about. But it turns out a trans person shot up a Christian school today, and basically I think they said like 3 adults ended up dying and then 3 children ended up dying before they were able to take the person out. Really messed up situation, but I would say before you guys go to sleep tonight and you do your prayers, put those families in your prayers tonight, because 6 people lost their lives, so that's 6 families that are going to be in mourning, you know. So I would just put them in your prayers tonight. And it all came when we talk about this whole trans ideology thing. That's a mental health issue at the end of the day. To think that's normal and want to do all that, and then for that person to go and shoot up that school, it's just super messed up. It's just super messed up. Oh, y'all talking about, the old school lie in your face dems? That's what y'all talking about? Okay. I got y'all.
Now, I now look at traditional Christian values with a lot of respect and reverence, and I'm integrating those more into my life. I will make no claims that I'm the world's best Christian or most devoted Christian, but I'm looking.
He said praying for families, afraid of the spin that's coming on the mainstream media. Oh, I'm already going to tell you what they're about to do, because I already see this playing out. The original pitch before they found out who the killer was, oh, you guys are so worried about the LGTB community, but you need to be worrying about getting rid of guns because now some crazy person shot a school up. Well, it turns out somebody from the LGTB community shot that school up. And because it was a Christian school, the spin will be, oh, those Christians abused that person for not affirming their gender, so they snapped, and that's why they shot up the school, because Christians are evil and bad. I guarantee you that's the spin they're going to do tomorrow. I guarantee you. Like, and when it happens, I will be right here tomorrow night saying I told y'all so. Because it's going to happen. That's the spin. Or because it's a person from the LGTB community, like we saw when the gay clubs got shot up, and what was it? It was in Cali. I think the other one was like in Waukesha or something. What happened when they found out a gay person shot them places up? The media shut up. So either they gonna blame it on the Christians because it was a Christian school that got shot up, or they just gonna be quiet and act like nothing ever happened. Them the 2 ways it's gonna go tomorrow.
Looking at these Christian values, and they make way more sense to me now than they previously did. Christian values around faith in God. Christian values around family first. And I now believe that the power of prayer is the most important thing you and I can do. I believe prayer is powerful. I believe prayer brings about change. I believe prayer brings God into a place where God is needed, where God has been absent of, where the evil has starved out the oxygen of God. I think we need more prayer. Now,
Yeah,
I
we
don't
do.
know for sure. Here's how I look at prayer. You just imagine you're in an underwater submarine as opposed to the above water submarines. But nonetheless, you're underwater in a submarine and you've got a limited oxygen supply. When oxygen starts running out, you're in trouble. And you look around the world today, people are in trouble. They really are. So what can you do? You need this oxygen. It's your life force. So, okay, we got to bring oxygen from the surface down to us here in this little submarine where we're at. How are we going to do it? Well, if you're in a submarine, some kind of tube system going up to the surface that pumps down oxygen into the submarine where it's needed. That's what you got to do. And I think prayer works in a similar way, where you look at where prayer is needed, God's will is needed. It's absent of God. Whether it's like, hey, the World Economic Forum, or political prisoners from January 6th, or children in public schools, or individual situations you or I might be in. We need God, we need blessings, we need support. How are we gonna get it? So cool, we're in the submarine. I believe prayer becomes the tube that channels the oxygen of God down to us. So it's like, God's there. Well, we gotta bring God.
Hey, welcome to the stream. Get 7 out. 7 of the 7. Welcome to the stream. You got a lot of 7s in your name. The jury is still out on this, praying. Yes, just pray for the families. That's all we can do, is just pray for the families.
Into this situation. So I think when we're in a prayerful state of mind, we're opening up a channel to bring God where God is needed. And how the system tends to be set up, the way I believe God set it up, is we have free will, which means God loves us enough to function disconnected from God, if that's our choice, or we can bring God into the situation. So I believe when we pray, we're opening up a tube to directly connect from God and bring God into the space over which we're praying. We're bringing oxygen where it's needed. Sounds kind of artsy-fartsy. Obviously, that's not scientifically true, but maybe it's metaphorically true. But nonetheless, I now view prayer as essential. It's what we need, and that's how I think it works. And get this, right now, I think we're at a time of spiritual warfare. We look at what's going on in the world, conflict between different nations, division all over the place. We want to teach this to your kids. It's like, you seem kind of satanic. Well, that's because I think they are. So even though we see these literal things playing out at the physical level, I think what we're seeing is symptoms of what's happening at more of a metaphysical level. I think right now, Satan and God are at war. In a time of spiritual warfare, what's on the line is you and I, our souls, our children. One side wants to control us, the other side wants to free us. And I think what we do in our day-to-day lives, our actions, our thoughts, our words, is determining which side of the spiritual warfare we're fighting on. Oh, side note, I want to be honest about this. I used to have shame about saying the word God. You know, back when I thought, like, dude, I'm spiritual, I'm so cool, but not religious. I used to have shame about using the word God, and instead I'd say, oh, the universe, or the all-knowing. I'd just create different names, but I actually just meant God. So I'm delighted to say now I have not only no shame about saying God, but I actually have joy.
Saying this was a great find. I'm glad you liked the video so far.
Yeah, that felt pretty good. And then before I share a little perspective on what I think you and I can do to bring more God into our lives and the world around us, I want to do a quick disclaimer, because it's something that tripped me up and gave me a negative view about Christianity and God itself. I would look at all the scandals that have happened in the name of religion. So many wars have been fought based on religion, based on God. There's been so many corrupt scandals. I mean, so many church scandals where it's all about the money. And then, of course, sexual abuse scandals in the Catholic Church. So I would kind of throw the baby out with the bathwater, like, oh, dude, that dirty bathwater. Yeah, if that's what Christianity is, screw that. If that's what God is, screw that. Now I have a...
It's funny because I used to be the same way when I wasn't Christian. Like mine, and I spoke about this in like my earlier videos. So like the prosperity churches turned me off so bad when I was younger. I was just like, oh, this whole thing is a scam. And then when it came out in like, what was it, 2008 or 7? Because it was like published in the papers and stuff. Back when papers mattered, right? Because that's not a thing anymore. Everything's like digital. It was just like, oh, there's all this sexual abuse in the Catholic Church and everything. And I remember when that came out, because South Park ended up like doing a parody episode about that. And I was just like, see, man, all y'all just some scammers. Y'all ain't really about nothing. So I had the same mentality he had at one point. When in reality, just because man had messed something up, I was putting all my feelings on man instead of separating that from what Christianity actually is. But I get everything he's saying. That literally used to be me. Yeah, prosperity churches definitely are a joke. They definitely are. It is crazy because they're always in the impoverished neighborhoods. Always. Because they know they can get those people for like everything. And it's so annoying, I swear. Like, don't get me wrong. There's like mega churches that do the same crap. But usually you will find them in impoverished places. The drama from backstabbing, bickering women in Baptist church. I saw scams and walked away from God. Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, that's the stuff. Because, you know, we attach it all together. So we're just like, man, if this is how y'all act, how is this religion actually, you know? And that's how you end up with atheists and agnostics and all that other jazz. New age, spirituality people. That's how you end up with all that. Because there's always a few bad apples that just spoil the viewpoint for others. So we've all been through it. We've all definitely been through it.
Much more mature look, where I do believe evil goes wherever it can. The devil masquerades as an angel of disguise. So if the devil wants to control people, then a good way for the devil to do that is to find people where they're trying to find God. So I think we certainly need good discernment, and just because something claims to be of God, or a church or a person claims to be of God, I think we need discernment, because the devil masquerades as an angel of light. But now, what I think is a more mature view, I will discern evil from churches, discern evil from God. So I don't have to throw.
Hey, what's going on, Tech
God
Boy?
baby
Welcome to
out
the
with
stream.
Bathwater, but rather just throw the bathwater out and keep the God, which seems to be much more empowering. So here are 4 things that I think you and I can do to bring more God into the world. One is to very intentionally have faith in God. It's hard to allow yourself to be supported by God if you don't believe in God, if you don't actively think about it. But having faith that there is a God, God has our backs, God has a plan, and our job is to be of best service to that plan as possible. So having faith. And then listen. It's one thing to have faith, then it's another thing to listen to God. Because I don't know about you, I've got noise in my mind all the time. I've got my own thoughts, I've got my own ego. Then of course there's all the outside noise coming in. So to be guided by God, I think we need to become very good listeners. What is God's path for me? What's God's encouragement for me?
Jorge says, whenever scandal happens in the church, it's definitely a very bad thing. But I'm constantly reminded of the fact that Jesus remains with his church even to the end of the world. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. That's what JP was talking about. He basically said we got to have discernment. Because if every evil person did something in the name of religion and we all was just like, see, that's why religion bad, none of us would be religious at all. But yeah, that's why we have to have good discernment. Tech Boy says, Allie was saying that is what the Millstone verse was talking about. Millstone? Y'all autocorrects be killing me. Tech Boy says, I have a Catholic question. All right, Tech Boy, what's your Catholic question? Because I'm pretty sure a Catholic in the chat can answer that for you. Oh, Millstone. Okay, you did. So it was Millstone. Tech Boy's Catholic question is, are babies born into Catholic families automatically Catholic? I think I only have one Catholic in the chat right now. I think it's Jorge. So go ahead, Jorge. Go ahead, answer the question. I'm going to put it back on the screen for you. All right, Jorge says yes. What's going on with my my thing right now? I'll fix it later. I have like an hour 10 left. I'll fix it later. Tech Boy said, wait, really? I just wanted to play some sounds.
What step am I being guided to take right now in this difficult situation? We've got to learn to listen. And I think listening to God, it's a little bit less to do with our eardrums and much more to do with hearing God from our heart. And at least for me, how the conversation tends to show up is subtle feelings in my heart. When I'm thinking about doing something, oftentimes for me, it's as simple as a sensation of lightness in my heart when it's in my greater good. Or it might be a choice where like, dude, that makes logical sense for me to do, but my heart will have a sense of heaviness to it. It's very subtle and it's very easy for it to be there, but for me not to notice. That's why I find it essential to calm my mind and listen to the sensations of my heart, because I do believe that's how God communicates with us.
Facts.
I think if we're trying to listen to God and the English language and literal words, we're probably going to be waiting a while. Now, that's how God talks to you, great. Doesn't seem to be how God talks to me or most people. So we got to listen to our heart, because what we're really listening to is who's on the other side of our heart, which I believe is God. And thirdly, about what you and I...
All right, so Tech Boy says, that's why when I was trying to explain Christianity, she thought that I became Christian by birth. I was taught that Christianity is a personal choice. Yeah, because Tech Boy, you're Protestant like I am. So, yes, on our side of things, we are taught that it's a personal choice, because you notice we don't be baptizing our babies and kids all like that. Some probably do, but the majority really don't, right? I don't know if you've ever heard like adults just like living life like crazy, but then they'll be like, I was born in the church, so I know about Christianity, but yet they don't even like live like a Christian. They don't live their lives like a Christian. You would never guess. They're just another secular person in a secular world, right? They're not separated from it at all. You'll hear a lot of people like say that claim they're Christian that aren't, just because they were raised in the church, but yet don't know nothing about the religion. And it's very interesting. When I first started YouTube, one of my earlier videos actually had some people come into my comment section and say stuff like that. And it was probably one of the polygamy videos, but they were just, they thought they knew what they were talking about. And it's funny because I was like way newer in my journey at that point. And I was hitting them with like Bible verses and stuff that I had read that was relevant to the video. And in true typical fashion, because they didn't know how to debate that, right? And I was being nice too. Like I wasn't even being angry. I was just like, well, actually such and such says this, but you know, if you need to read up on it more, here's like some resources and stuff. I used to do that in the comment section. You know what they got like responded with? All it was like, oh, well, that's why you're ugly, and that's why you just the way you do, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that ain't had nothing to do with nothing. I just thought it was funny. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, you didn't really come in here to learn. You came in here to argue and name call. I thought that was super funny. Yeah, it's still a personal choice. It's just, that's how it is on our side of things. Yeah, Jorge says you can grow up in a very Catholic family and walk away if you don't study your faith. Facts. But that's for like anything though, right? That's also for like Islam and Judaism. It don't matter how you grew up in your house. Like if you want to leave at some point, you're going to leave. It really don't matter. Yeah, like KF says, like you choose to follow a code and or God, or you ignore it and evil will show up in many ways. Facts. That's literally what's going to happen. That's literally what's going to happen.
I can do is pray. Pray often. Know when people are in need. Maybe you don't even know them, but pray for them. Pray for yourself. Pray for your family, your circumstances. Pray for other people. Pray for the world at large. And by the way, this might sound weird, but when we look at the evil authoritarians,
I hope, so Tech Boy says, I hope I can explain it well. I don't want my friends to leave the faith and or not be in it and go to hell. I think you'll do fine, Tech Boy. I think you'll do fine. And at the end of the day, all you can really do is just pray for them. So, and I do that for a lot of my friends and family as well, because as you guys know my story, I'm pretty much the only Christian out the friend group. So, if they choose to walk away, you can only pray that they'll come back one day. That's all you can do. Jorge says, you need to truly understand what it means to be Catholic. Remember that there are people who say anti-Catholic things out of pure ignorance, and if you're not prepared, they can easily get you to walk away. Yeah, that's true. We done talked about that before. I think I done told you, Jorge, you and the other Catholics in the chat, I don't know how y'all deal with the questions all the time. Because the few that I've been asked, and it's the same ones every single time. It's literally the same questions. It's basically, why do y'all pray to Mary? Why do y'all use her as an intercessor, as the intercession? And why y'all praise the Pope? Because if I'm getting the same three all the time, and I'm not even Catholic, I know y'all are just sick of it. I know you guys are just straight sick of it. It would bother me so much.
People I judge to be evil, at least. The Klaus Schwabs, the George Soroses, Bill Gates, Biden, Trudeau. It's not that I'm keeping track of who they are, but that's who I think they are. What would happen if we start praying for them? Certainly not praying for their agenda to succeed, but praying for them as the individuals. Because I look at them and what I see is godless people who are driven by their own ego, and I think evil is controlling their ego. So these are maybe people we need to pray for more than anybody else, to have them saved. And by the way, the more they're saved, the more they get God into their lives, which I don't know if that's going to happen or not. But hypothetically, if they got more God into their lives, we save them, kind of saves us too, doesn't it? And fourthly, about what I think you and I can do is doing our best to live a life of service.
That's funny. It's like, what did Soros do? What didn't Soros do? That's pretty funny.
A service to God's plan, a service to God's guidance for us. And then we also have to realize to do so, to live a life of service, we have to look at our own egotistical wants, our egotistical desires. They even might be authentic desires, but sometimes we have to be willing to abandon those in order to be of service to God. Now, here's a fact. A lot of people would say, dude, you mean not just dedicating my life to, well, me and serving myself, which is kind of narcissism, but how would I ever be happy if I don't do that? Well, I would say, how would you ever be happy if that's all you do? I believe true happiness, fulfillment, and meaning of life absolutely requires us to be of service to a greater good, to contribute to the greater good of other people. I think that is absolutely what's required for us to be happy and fulfilled individuals. Now, not to be confused with the dopamine hits that happen when we gratify ourselves, when we make ourselves feel more significant and certain and in control by just kind of going after our egotistical wants, needs, and desires. We love those dopamine hits. They feel good. They're instant gratification. But that's not happiness. A life of service is what births true happiness. And I think to be of best service to a will greater than ours, we need to think about three things: our thoughts, words, and actions, and what are they aligned with? If we allow our thoughts, words, and actions to be as impeccably aligned as possible with God's guidance, then I think we're doing really well. That means we're someone, we listen, we have faith, we listen, we pray, but we also move our feet. We take action. We take action with our words, our thoughts, and of course then our outward actions. That makes us a three-dimensional being doing our best to act out God's will, being of service. I don't know about you, but I think the world needs a lot more of that.
Yes, they
That's
do.
something within our
Yes, they do.
control. We'll never be perfect at, but it's within our control to do our best to be better at. A little better each day. So that's a little rundown on what I used to believe about God, what I believe now, what changed my mind, and what I think you and I can do to bring more God into our lives. Now, just a quick PS on this. One of the reasons why I like sharing thoughts on what I changed my mind about out loud is I think we live in a world where we're discouraged from changing our mind. But it's like frowned upon to change your mind. Well, what if we learn to frown upon never changing our mind and give ourselves impeccable permission to change our minds? Because if you never change your mind, guess what? You're not growing. You're not learning. You are what's called staying stuck in the same beliefs and practices that you adopted a long time ago, and they might be well expired, kind of like meat in your refrigerator you bought 7 years ago. Yeah, you bought it 7 years ago, but it might be rotten. It might be time to throw it out and replace it with something new. So personally, I'm someone who encourages people to change their mind. I think I just like to model that for you. Not that I'm picture perfect model for it, but I'm clumsy, stumbling my way along. And I think it's great to change our mind when we have a good reason to change our mind. When we look at something we used to believe, my old beliefs about God, and then a better way comes along.
So Tech Boy says, I've been called closed-minded and far right because I have not changed my stances. That's because you go to school with a bunch of liberal-minded kids. That's really all that is. You have a more biblical/traditional way of thinking in morals and values. So you get that with a bunch of like limbed out kids who are just like, you don't support the LGBT community. You don't support these type of books in the library. You don't support this or that. And you're just like, no, I don't. Like, I don't support any of that. They're going to call you that, but you're not closed-minded. It causes depression. You talking about for yourself? Or are you talking about them being liberal? Being liberal causes depression. Jorge says the problem is Biden supports abortion and he's still receiving Holy Communion. By doing this, he brings condemnation to himself. He needs to repent. Wait. I thought they were supposed to stop doing that. I thought they were supposed to stop giving communion to government officials that support abortion, because I did a video on it. Or is that just something they wanted to do and they never put it into practice yet? Oh, Tech Boy says it causes for yourself. Oh. Those kids get to do stuff and have fun, and I get teased for having 9th grade friends. I would say, you need to find a friend group that thinks like you, and it is real. It is a real thing. But there's like groups. I know, like, because in college, what is the group called? It's called like YAF. I think that's for college circuits or whatnot. You might just have to Google it. Like, what friend groups do they have for kids your age that just have a more biblical mindset or whatnot? That's all I could really think of. Because at the end of the day, it's also high school. Everybody's not going to like you. Regardless, like, everybody's not going to like you. So you just got to find that squad. You said liberal bishops probably? But I thought they all had to follow the same script. You said pause, Tech Boy being here for the video on the importance of prayer. I mean, he already knows, but I'll say this, like, since we are talking about the importance of prayer, because he already knows he should be praying daily, because he said his dad's a pastor. But for us, now that he has mentioned depression for himself and how break's gonna be depressing for him, we all could pray for you as well. And I'll probably look into, like, if there's a way for you to get like friend groups or something for kids that have your mindset. Because I always be looking into stuff. So if you guys remember when I interviewed the one kid from the Church of God Restoration, how he left that cult. That whole week, I literally studied on how to sue a cult and what is like the statistical range of winning those judgments. I looked into all of that. I talked to a lawyer. I did all those things that week. And y'all don't be knowing, I do a lot of crazy stuff when I'm not live streaming and doing videos. And it's insane because, like, I felt defeated because, like, cults operate in such a gray area. But, like, yeah, now that you mentioned that, that's probably something I'm just going to randomly look up this week. Because you did mention what area you lived in too, Tech Boy. So I could just look some stuff up and send it to you on Twitter. What is Church of God Restoration? A cult. A cult that's here in Ohio. And they have other chapters. They have other chapters in other parts of not only the United States, but in other countries as well. And it's just a big cult where they scam you for money. I interviewed the kid one day for like 30 minutes. And like, it was insane. How is it a cult and not a church? So the reason they're a cult, they believe that they too are disciples. And what they do is they tell the people in the church that they have to pray to one of the disciples in charge and not God, because that's how they get into heaven. And then also they have to give all their money to them as well, because that's how you get into heaven, when in reality, those people are just scamming them. So, and then they'll go to smaller communities too. And they'll be like, hey, don't you want God's blessing? Like, he'll come in here and wreck all this. You guys are late on your monthly payments and stuff. Because it wasn't just him. It wasn't just him. It was somebody else. It was weird. Him and somebody else who used to be part of that cult contacted me literally like a day after each other. And they sent me all this information about it. And I went down the whole rabbit hole because they're like right here in Ohio. Do cults ride the tax breaks like a church? So that one did, because they lied and said they're a church. But in reality, they operate in those gray areas like a cult. And they did some weird stuff there. There was a lot of like violence and sexual abuse. It was insane. So it's a scam. Yeah, it's a scam. Oh, Jorge said, we are getting progressive bishops, unfortunately. I constantly pray for the church. That's messed up. That's messed up. He said, think about Germany and how Pope Francis remains silent but continues to restrict the Latin Mass. Yeah, Germany is a whole messed up situation. We talked about that the other day. What was it, last week? I think we talked about it last week on like Tuesday or something. That whole situation messed up too.
We let the old one go and embrace the new. And with that, with the 4 tips I shared about having faith, listening, praying, and living a life of service, if there's anything in there that you can get benefit from, awesome. Please take it.
That's funny, Tech Boy.
I appreciate you, my beautiful freedom-loving friend. Thank you for watching this video with me.
All right, and that's the video. That is JP Sears about on why he changed his mind about God. About God. That's pretty cool, though. It was nice for him to explain why he left New Age spirituality, basically, and came over to Christianity. Gotta love it. You gotta love it. What else? What else can we watch? Ooh, that took an hour. With the stopping and talking. That literally took an hour to get through. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. You think your pastor believes CRT? Oh, that's not good. That's not good in the slightest. Has the church voiced anything about Catholics on lists? I do not think so. I do not think so. I have no idea, though, to be honest with you, for the grand scheme of it. While I find another video to play real quick. That's what I wanted to tell y'all. So I finished the donation video because I dropped everything off today with my mom at the homeless shelter. So that's going to be put together this week. And then hopefully I can have it out by the end of the week for you guys. So stay on the lookout for that. And once again, thank you guys for your super chats and stuff, but because of y'all, that's how we were able to do all this to begin with. And with that said, next project is the book bags. I'm already getting 48 book bags for us to give out for the book bag drive, which starts at the end of June, I believe. And we are going to need a lot of money for that because we have to fill all those book bags. So like I've said before in streams last week, my game plan is to wait until school ends because that's when all the school supplies will be going on clearance. So I should be able to snatch up some stuff for dirt cheap. Because my only other cheap option right now is like going to the dollar store, right? And getting like notebooks and stuff from there. But like each notebook's going to be $1. So if I got 48 book bags, right? It's going to be $48 for 48 notebooks, where I could try to catch the clearance where notebooks would be like 10 cents or something, you know? So hopefully I can get as much as possible when stuff hits clearance. Hopefully. Tech Boy says, oh, remember I told you about the book in the church library? I found one that was anti-CRT and I was shocked it was there. I don't think you ever told me about a book in the church library. If you did, I don't remember. I don't remember. But you have a TikTok video coming out soon. That's what's up. What's your TikTok video about to be about? If you don't mind sharing with the class, you know, if you don't mind sharing. Shorts on your kill streak. Actually, I do plan on doing shorts. And I'm going to piece all of them together tomorrow. And the goal moving forward is to release them when I go live. Because when you release them when you're live, I guess it gives you the live button at top when, you know, you're active. So while that's being active in the shorts feed and people see it and be like, oh, look, she got some crazy kills. It's going to say I'm live and they're going to come right in. So I think I'm going to do video game shorts for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday so they can hop right into Christian Game Room. And then like stuff like this with us just talking and other videos, that'd be like for Monday and Tuesday. And then I guess I'll just put whatever on the weekends. I have to upload it. So my boyfriend, he has a YouTube channel too, but he showed me a lot of like social media marketing stuff over the weekend. And we've been like playing around with that stuff, learning how to use it. And it's nice. It's going to be super nice. Jorge, as usual, the last Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania. I know you hype. You've been ready. You've been ready for all of this. What? What did you say? Tech Boy said, or you can go to San Francisco and rob the place less than $900. Yo, but I'm a Christian. I can't steal. I mean, I can get away with it because it's Cali, but I can't steal, my guy. I can't do it. I can't do it. You said the fall of TikTok, should it be banned, etc. And then you're like, of course, I'm not going to download that junk of TikTok. Yeah, because you was talking mess when I downloaded Streamlabs. So I would have been shocked if you had a TikTok video. For real, for real. Vince is live. Vince is always live when I'm live, man. He hating. He took my time slot. That's what that was. He a hater. TikTok should be banned because we should not trust China. Yeah, that's like... The whole reason it's here is to just make us stupider. That's really all it is. When people look at like the data stuff, the government already gets our data from all the other apps. The version of TikTok we get, though, is really just to make us stupider. Why do you think when they asked the guy in Congress who actually made it, they was like, oh, you got kids? How old are your kids? Oh, so they old enough to use TikTok. And he was like, yeah, so they don't. My kids don't use that. He knew why he was saying that. He knew why. What did you say? Some Catholic guy came on Michael Knowles and said the UFC was immoral? What? Why he say that nonsense? What he say that for? If we go all electric, China will hack us and will send the country back to the dark ages. Man, we already basically all electric. We're like 90% there. We just got to get the digital currency and stuff going like all around. And then we'll be right on our way to destruction and damnation. Jorge watching Raw. Oh, you got Trish Stratus and Lita on there? You said they was going to be at Royal Rumble too, so I'm not shocked if they are on there. I think that we can't ban TikTok because there are businesses on it. Man, it's just a platform. You could ban it. They got other social media they could use. You could ban it. But the thing is, Biden is in bed with China. He's not banning that. You would need Donald Trump to become president and then for him to push that, right? But we don't even know if he about to be president. So that's like a whole other issue. That's a whole other thing. If we ban it, we need to phase it out. Good luck. Or DeSantis. What's up, Jessica Girl? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think DeSantis probably would ban it too if he came in there. Also, the technological issue of banning TikTok is hard. Yeah, at the end of the day, they're not banning it because they've been talking about banning TikTok since, when did I have my last job? Because I remember that was a conversation like 3 years ago when they were talking about, they're talking about banning TikTok and everybody was rushing to download the app to just have it on their phones. It's been here this long. They're never banning it. KL says social media will become public services and AI will run wild. Look, I already know tech is going to take over everything. AI is evil. It's evil. I was listening to some earlier. Somebody, there's a group on Reddit. Well, I should say there's a subreddit on Reddit where they train AI to learn musicians' voices. And they're using it to create tracks to play around with it right now. And it sounds so good considering it's in the beginning stages. It sounds really good. So some guy did it for Kanye's voice. That was the hardest Kanye verse I've heard in a minute. And it wasn't real. Like that dude literally, he showed the whole process. He wrote 8 bars. He recorded himself and then he threw the AI voice on it that he trained to sound like Kanye. It was so close. It was so close to being very spot on. And just think about how the music industry can use that, right? So for example, Michael Jackson is dead, right? I think his kids or something owns the rights or whatever. But think about when they're dead and gone. Say if that doesn't move down to the next person. Whoever owns that, so if a record company comes in and buys that, they're going to be pimping out artists' voices so hard. They're not even going to need you anymore for the studio. They could just get songwriters like they always do because now they don't even need you to sing. And boom, you got like a whole song. You have like a whole song. Kanye is not anti-Semitic anymore. Yeah, I saw that. He said thanks to Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street. He loves the Jews again. If that ain't the most Kanye thing ever to be said. I thought it was funny. Imposter Among Us. Hey, that's literally what that is. It's like, did this person really make this song? Or did the imposter make this song? AI writes music, actually pretty wild. Yeah, AI can do a lot of stuff now. And you guys got to remember, we're in the beginning stages. Like the literal beginning stages of all of this. I've seen somebody use ChatGPT to create a business for them where they just start like a web store, and like ChatGPT made the whole game plan rundown. This dude's just like, you only got $100. Where do I go from here? They did the marketing. They found the product. They did the layout, the website design. It was insane. It was insane. And then the dude made thousands off of it. It's crazy. Google Bard, I actually haven't played with that yet. You said you asked it about you and got a good answer? Oh, ain't that when it said you were Kai Cenat? I'm pretty sure it called you Kai Cenat. Which is hilarious. Tech Boy, let us find out this whole time everything you've been showing us is not you, and you're really just Kai Cenat, and you be wilding out on Twitch every night, and you be rapping and stuff. Did you just say who is Kai Cenat? Man, you don't act like a teenager at all. Boy, look. Let me pull some up for you real quick. He's like the biggest Twitch streamer like ever. He actually just got gifted a pair of Nikes from Twitch because they do not respect that man. That man has brought him in millions upon millions of dollars, and they gifted him a $100 pair of Forces that they probably paid somebody $300 to $500 to customize, and they were just like, here, this is what you are worth. And he was so salty. He was so salty when he got it. You said, "Dear AI, I'm a verified fictional character." You said, imagine if we could AI dead actors. We could have Humphrey Bogart and Angela Lansbury in a movie together. That's what deepfakes is. You can do that with a deepfake. And it's like scary accurate how good that is. They're definitely going to do that. You're definitely going to do that at some point. You're not, like, once actors die, corporations are going to pimp them out forever. You already saw, a few years back with Tupac, Diddy had the, not Diddy, he did it with Biggie, but Tupac's estate had the hologram made. And I'm just like, why would you want to go to a hologram concert or performance by Tupac? It ain't real. That's weird. And then Michael Jackson's estate did the same thing. The weirdest performance ever. I was like, I do not like this. I do not like this at all. You said the Catholic Talk Show did a podcast on Chat GPT today. Have to check it out in your free time. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that. I did see the thumbnail, but I was kind of busy earlier. You said, who are those actors? Well before both of our times. Well before it. Don't even worry about it, Tech Boy. Don't even worry about it. Here, hold on. I'm going to play this Kai Cenat video for you real quick. And I'm not even going to play the whole thing. I just want you to see who Kai Cenat is. That's all. So you see this guy right here? This is Kai Cenat. Here it is. Let's go straight to the opening from Twitch. Here we go.
Okay. It better be a contract in there.
He was so happy. He was like, it better be a contract in here. This is like one of their biggest people on the platform.
Congratulations, Kai, on your huge accomplishment. We are so proud of you, Laura, Anna, and all of your friends at Twitch.
He about to look so disappointed at these shoes. And I don't blame him. They're so ugly. I would have looked right into the camera and been like, Twitch, where is my contract?
Everybody get out on the floor.
King of Twitch. Put him
Yeah,
on.
this is This is the most disappointing thing ever. That man done brought in millions of dollars, and they probably dropped, and this is me being generous, they probably dropped $1,000 on this. And once again, me being generous, because they probably dropped $500 on this altogether. I don't believe they dropped any high amount of money on getting the customization of that shoe done. And I know people who customize shoes. That's why the $1,000 is a generous like figure for them. They do not care about that man. Yeah, dude got burned. Yeah, he did. It was horrible. You said my math teacher was talking about a race and gender gap in finance. First off, your math teacher, the fact that they believe that and they are a math teacher and they're teaching you finance and they have the audacity to say that's stupidness. I'm doing a math project in that class and I picked a kid who was saying non-woke things. So it's racist. What? Hey, at least you got the kid that wasn't saying woke stuff. Cause you could have picked the kid that was just like, I can't believe this. Women get the short end of the stick every time. Men make so much more money than us. I can't believe there's a pay gap. And you would have had to hear that for your whole project. Actually, Tech Boy, I have a question. How did you start out being homeschooled and then at this stage in life, they put you back in public school? What was the thinking from that from your parents? If they told you, because I don't know if they told you or not. But like, how did you go from homeschool to public school? Usually it's like the other way around. That's what I want to know. But yeah, they really played that man. They gave him some shoes. Oh, you was talking about Kai was getting, they was being racist to him. Okay. Oh, they wanted you to talk to people and socialize. So when you were homeschooled, they didn't have you in like extra programs to get you out the house and do that like in your extracurriculars? Man, that's kind of crazy. Oh, you were homeschooled to get a good Christian foundation. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Man, I would have, no lie, I would have kept you at home and just put you in like the extracurricular activities just so you can like meet people and socialize. So I would have asked you what you were into and you would have been like electronics and blah, blah, blah. And I'd have been like, cool, let's find some programs for kids your age to do that. And I would have stuck you in those programs. Because that, I guarantee they would have had stuff like that at your local community college. And you could have been in there with like some 18-year-olds and stuff, doing robotics and learning with them. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. I had some co-ops, but I guess public school is more socialized. And it has an engineering school and robotics. Hey, I guess you got to take the wins where you can get them, I guess. At least you got the engineering and the robotics. At least I have 2-ish friends there. That's not bad. That's not bad. I was the nerd in school, so like my squad was really just like, actually it was the kids I had basically known since elementary school. Cause it was me, my brother, my boyfriend, my friend. Yeah. It was like our squad, it was just 5 of us. For real, for real. Like they had their own little friends, but if you just look at the core group, it was just 5 of us. So if you only got 2, ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, do what KF says. That's all you got to do. I'm going to see if I could find you like a program with kids that think like you in your area. Because I know you said you live in Texas. You said Houston, right? Just so I know I'm looking in the right area. Because we going to find you. We going to find you something. Not now. I'm going to do it off stream considering I got to get off around 9. But we going to find you something, Tech Boy. Houston, bet. Got you, bro. Got you, little bro. We gonna find some kids around your age that think like you. Saying building bridges, We just trying to help because I already know what it's like. That's crazy that's like being the new nerd nowadays. Y'all don't understand because when I was in school, if you liked Pokemon and comic books and superheroes, you were the nerd. That's popularized now. So that's just like everybody likes that crap, video games included, right? So anime, all these things that are so popular now that would get you beat up when I was in school, which is wild. It's crazy. So the way he thinks, which is like how we think, right? We have that conservative, traditional mindset. Because he's a kid with that, that's like him being the nerd now. So we got to find him some kids that also think like him in his area. My school is nerdy already. Dang, that's... Tech boy, we go through this every time. Pokemon is not demonic, all right? Look at this. This not demonic, my guy. This is not demonic. Actually, I got a bunch of stuff. Hold on. I got my little Pokeball right here. This is not demonic, all right? So I catch my Pokemon. This is not demonic. I got the badges too from like Gen 1, since I grew up in that gen. I got the little pop figures. You said, so I'm an anti-nerd conservative. Tech boy, ain't nothing wrong with that. You smart, and you gonna be the one that saves your generation, because your generation is crazy. Yeah, Jorge said, I grew up with friends who love WWE. You gotta remember, back in the day, it was WWF. Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah. Them the kids I grew up with, too. We were all the nerds. We were the weird nerds. The weird nerdy kids. All right. Let me put a video up, because we just been talking for like 22 minutes. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that from time to time. But it's a short video. This under 3 minutes. It's from a channel called Man vs. Street. And it says, do protesters have jobs? Ooh, shots fired. Oh, bro, you said Chin Pokemon from South Park? Chin Pokemon! I gotta play that ad when this video's over. You said Trunks for a baby named out. Hey, you already know Dragon Ball Z. That's my favorite. First off, Vegeta, my favorite character, and then Trunks is number 2. So once I got the cat, we was looking at him. Because my original names, I was like, when I find a cat, I gotta find a cat that looked like Matcha. That they could fit the name Matcha or something. Then we found him. And my boyfriend was like, he need a strong name. And I was like, Trunks. We just stuck with it. You should come to my FRC competition at George R. Brown in Houston. And when is your competition? You said I liked Alabama Man. That had to be the funniest toy because it looks like they actually made that just so they can have a skit, which is hilarious. George Soros paid protesters and media. Yeah, it's a job. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Okay, hold on. We gotta get into it.
Did you get the day off work today to come do this?
No, I strike today.
Oh, you're skipping work?
I just strike. It is a strike, so I strike.
Okay, is your boss okay with it? Hundreds of climate activists have shut down traffic for the day. We're out here talking to them, asking them, do they have jobs? Did you get the day off work today to come out and do this?
Well, man, my situation with work was I helped through a rough management transition, and they gave me a chance to take an extended break.
Did you get the day off work to do this today?
The what?
Did you get the day off work to come out here and do this?
No, I did not. I'm skipping work.
Can I ask what you do?
I'm an artist. I work at a gallery in Rockville, and I weld things together.
That's not a job, sir. Like, you can make money as an artist. I actually have a friend who's an artist, but that's not a job, though. You said your competition is the 6th and 7th. I'm actually gonna be out of town on the 6th. So I'm not even gonna be able to make it, bro. The team with the pride flag lost and you was happy? Hey. That's what's up. That's what's up. Dude in vest sounded like Andrew Tate. Let's see. Let's go back. You're talking about the first guy, right? Where are we at? We're at 44 seconds.
So I strike.
Okay, is your boss okay with it? Hundreds of climate act.
I just strike. It is a strike. So I strike.
Okay, is your boss okay?
Kinda. He kinda does.
Hundreds of climate activists have
Together, I'm.
He kinda has his vocal inflections. Maybe I can come on the 19th. We'll see. We'll see. This is a last minute, like, hey, you should come down here type thing. We'll see. You got to give me more notice than like this ain't even like a full month notice, my guy. We'll see what happens though. And dude said jumped. You said job. They jumped back in fear. Kind of.
I'm
Yeah.
a handyman.
Is your boss all right, you think, with you coming out here and
Oh, so now he's a
work?
handyman.
Yeah, no, probably not. I don't. I'm. They might be all right with it. I might get fired, but I think this is what's needed.
Can we ask, did you get the day off work to come out here and strike today?
I'm actually, yeah, I took off today and then came out because I'm from Baltimore, so I heard about it, came down just to help out.
Can I ask, like, what do you do for a living?
I'm a cook.
So, did you get the day off work today to do this?
I mean, he had a
class
job.
to do this today.
Are you missing
Skipping
anything
class?
important?
Okay.
Sorry.
Are you missing anything important in class?
Yes, I'm missing ecology, and I'm really sad about it, but this matters.
Do you have a job?
Yes.
Did you get the day off work today to come out here and do the climate strike?
Yes. And I don't ask for days off. It's my right to protest, and I will exert it every single time.
Can I ask, did you get the day off work to come out and strike today?
I'm self-employed, so I'll just put 2 more hours at the end of the day.
Hold on, Tech Boy. This is your championship on the 19th? Because it says first championship. I Googled it on my phone, by the way. It says Wednesday, April 19th to Saturday, April 22nd. It says event category and then event program. You said if we make it to Worlds. Okay, I got you. Hey, if you make it to championship, you gotta let us know. You gotta let us know. That would be a nice accomplishment to get that far.
Day.
Can I ask what you do for a living?
I'm a full-time artist, art educator, and arts activist.
I took the day off of graduate school up in New York to come down to DC.
You said you probably will. Everyone there will be there. I'm supposed to see an NTB team or a NTB commentator. Nice.
Do this.
Oh, okay. You think you're missing anything
what's up,
important
Tech
in
Boy.
class?
I think this is much more important right now.
Did you guys get the day off work today to come out and do this?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, work full time.
We're trying to get understand the demographics of the climate strikers out here. Like, can I ask what you guys do for a living? Do you mind?
I'm a realtor.
I'm an RN.
Oh, okay.
So my schedule's a little more flexible than hers.
Do you think there's resistance at work to you guys coming out and doing this kind of activism, or are they okay with it for the most part?
I don't care. This is so much bigger than doing what's right, doing what's PC. This is all that matters.
For climate activists. Okay. Whatever y'all say, lady. Whatever y'all say. You said I would not miss class to protest. It depends. What if the protest is about pro-life? Would you miss class then? I wouldn't miss it for this. This is like some climate change nonsense, but certain things I think I would miss class for. If there was a school walkout, I'd be the only butt in that seat. Man, this is how I know you're different, because when I was younger, I done told this story before. I don't even know what the walkout was for. But they said, you got to miss the rest of the day and it didn't count against you. All of us left once they said that. I don't even know what the protest was about, but we all left. Some of them actually went to the front of the school to do whatever they were doing. The rest of us hopped in our cars and went to the mall or went to somebody's house and played video games. Whatever it wasn't school. It's like, don't threaten me with a good time. I'm out of here. Like, I don't need to be in here anyways. School was such a waste for me for 12th grade. When I tell y'all, I had enough credits to graduate in 11th grade. So I didn't even have to do 12th grade. But the way they had just put us in small schools, and I was in STEM. So they were like, oh, you're in the STEM school. They're not allowed to graduate early. You have to stay. And I was like, that don't even make sense because I have more than enough credits to graduate. So I was like, if I stay here, what am I supposed to do? Because I don't have to take any classes. Y'all, my whole day was study halls and lunch. And then I had a job, so I was like, can I at least leave early like the kids in the other schools so I can at least like start work at 12 or something or 11. I don't need to be here. And they was like, no, your school doesn't allow you to leave early either. And I was like, well, what's the point? I'm not in classes. Y'all have me doing nothing. I skipped so much that year. You lied to the school? No, the school gave us a pass. They said, if you guys want to do this protest, you are allowed to leave at a certain time and you get to miss the rest of the day and it don't count against you. Everybody left. Like, nobody stayed. All these people telling us to ditch our vehicles, but yet they fly in their private jets. Hypocrites. Facts. That's when that interview when that lady checked Bill Gates on that. And he was just like, well, that's different because I pay these charities and blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, sir. No, sir. You are a hypocrite. And you want us to eat fake meat. You're trying to kill us. He be trying to sit there and be like, this is what's healthy for you. It's like, you fat though. How you gonna be fat and tell me what's healthy for me? I don't understand that at all. If you have a laptop, that would be nice, but you did not do the protest. Yeah, I didn't. Nobody did. I think a few kids did. Most of us just left, and it didn't count against us. It did not count against us at all. You said you had this fight earlier today? Hold on. KO, who was you fighting earlier today? And I already know what you mean when you say that. You was in an argument. Just the chocolate-covered grasshoppers. You know, the only bugs I've ever tried, so if y'all ever been to Hot Topic, this was before I was religious. And they have a whole section of like bugs you can eat because it's supposed to be like shock food or whatever. And it was like a candy bar that had crickets in it. And we taste tested it on camera. And it tasted like a Kit Kat, but it was like more gritty. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Knowing what I know now about eating bugs, I would never do that again. That's the only time I've ever done it, but I'll never do it again. I should have never did it that first time, but you live and you learn. It is what it is, you know. What else we got going on in the world of YouTube? Oh, I definitely don't have enough time. That video is way too long. That would have been a good video, though. Let's see what's on the homepage. I know we just talking and chilling because I know y'all don't really care too much. I don't really care too much. We just hanging out. Huh, it says Vince was supposed to go live. Oh, this is weird. YouTube is playing him like they played me, what was it, like last Friday or something? Last Friday or Thursday? If you go to Vince's homepage, it just says waiting. It just says scheduled. It doesn't even say he's live. It says upcoming. But if you click on it, he's live like right now, talking. Oh, he's watching the Vice feminist debate. I've already reacted to that. We don't need to watch that again. Remember the boogeyman? He'd eat earthworms on his way to the ring. Ugh. It was so gross. It was so gross. Welcome, Tirade. Welcome. Thanks for pulling up to the live stream. I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate when all y'all come through. Kelf said all coastal and island real estate becomes devalued, became an elite land grab started under Bill Clinton. I think just off the fact that coastal and island stuff, I can see that being devalued just for the fact that if a was it like a hurricane or something hit, your property done for. Jorge's still on wrestling right now. He is still on wrestling right now. Ruin Leon did a video about apparently if white people use memes that have black people in it, it's called digital blackface. It looks like Ruin Leon did a video on that. We should watch his reaction video to that. Oh, wait a minute. I might have another contender. What Do You Meme has a video up, and it says, Muslims lose their minds over my video. Oh, sir, what did you say? Okay, no, we about to watch that. We about to watch this.
I've recently...
I know, the eye roll. Yeah, it's because they're... It's because they're participating in digital blackface. How dare they? First they wanted to do real blackface back in the day, but now, oh, the digitalness of it. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. It's just so stupid. Oh, it's just so stupid. Oh, man. You said climate scare is a grift, pure and simple. Land bought in the 90s, $100K to $1.5 million per climate talk, Gore and Clinton. Yeah, climate scare is a grift. Because every year, I didn't watch the video with y'all, but it's ever since like the 60s or 70s. Because remember, it was like, oh, it's about to be an ice age. It's about to be an ice age. And when that didn't happen, now it's just like, oh, it's going to get so hot. It's going to get like super hot. Everything's going to be ruined. It's like, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Like, it's obvious there's a climate shift somewhere, but it's not to like the degree of them trying to scare us with it. It's just, you saw Greta Thunberg deleted one of her tweets where she was just like, it's going to be mass chaos in like, what'd she say, like 4 or 5 years? And we've now hit that point and we're just like, so where's this mass chaos you were talking about? She deleted the tweet. You said it's amazing how the enemy tries to sneak in things that sound biblical. Facts.
Posted a YouTube short where I explained one of the key differences between God in Islam and God in Christianity, and I received some pretty angry comments from some Muslims and even got a few racial and slavery references like this. Wish we could turn back to the good old days when they were still up to sell. 50% off.
Dang.
Or even, you will regret misleading people on Judgment Day. I can't wait to see what will happen to you there. Or, my younger brother knows more than this, Moran. Yeah. And I also got a few nasty emails telling me to end myself. So what did I say that could possibly warrant such a response? Well, the short clip was taken from a longer video in which I explained that in Islam, God is not considered to love everyone, and over in the Quran we read that God does not love unbelievers or sinners, and you can't even find a single verse in the Quran saying that God does in fact love unbelievers and sinners.
Just a Girl said, I'm still annoyed about incandescent light bulbs. That's such a weird thing they're getting rid of. Like, everything's about to be LED. It's I saw a thread about that where somebody said Trump was the only one to fight for, like, architectural beauty. Because there is certain buildings, like, that are just so gorgeous, and then the lighting, just, like, the right lighting with it, which would be those light bulbs, it looks so beautiful. And now everything wants to look so modernized and plain and boring. And when you really look at architecture, like through like the years, the centuries, it's crazy how we've gotten to this point where everything is just so bland. It's disgusting, to be honest with you. Jorge said, climates constantly change. Antarctica used to be a lush rainforest during the dinosaurs. Is that true? I mean, maybe, because, yeah, probably, because we were all like one continent at first, and then with Pangea, like everything started spreading out. So yeah, probably.
Now, given the clarity of the Quran on the issue, I figured that a lot of Muslims would be happy. However, I did think that if some people didn't like the conclusion, then of course they would push back some. But the type of pushback that I got
is that
wasn't
true?
at all what I would have expected. Once I clicked on the video and I started scrolling through the top
So we use
comments,
sunglasses
I
at night now.
immediately started to
Unfortunately.
see the trend. See if you can spot it too. I was a Muslim before watching this video, and now I'm still a Muslim, and my Imam became more stronger. Bro graduated from Facebook University.
You said Walking with Dinosaurs, great documentary. Okay, hold on. Let me write that down, right? Let me write that down. Walking with Dinosaurs documentary. There we go. And just like that, boom, we got it. Hold on, man. Look. I'll pause it right on time. Look at this comment right here. Education in Ohio be like. That's messed up, man. Where did all the Ohio jokes come from? Like, just out of nowhere over the past couple months. Everybody just be hating on my state. You know what? They can hate all they want. Don't nothing really be happening here. I'd rather be here. We don't deal with tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes. It don't be super hot here. Be mad. Be mad you can't be here. The only funny thing that is here, and I'll give y'all this, and a lot of people don't even know this. When you come into Ohio, and I believe it's from like the southern part of Ohio, when you come into it, there is a huge billboard up that says "Welcome to Hell." And it's been up since I was a kid, and I think my parents said it's been up as long as they can even remember. So it's hilarious. That Ohio water, look, where I live, we're not even on that drinking system. Our water isn't contaminated. Majority of Ohio is, but you know where I'm at, we right on the lake. That's our water source. I'm good. I'm safe. I'm in the safe zone. Oh, come on, Tyree. Come on. Ohio is a bland version of PA. Come on now. Come on. Why? Cause y'all got Pittsburgh and Philly and all that. That's why you dogging on us. Erie is trash, though. We're better than Erie. We're better than Erie. It's probably better than Michigan. Yo, we do have that song here in Cleveland where we're like, hey, at least we're not Detroit. It's a whole music video. It's hilarious. There's a hell, Michigan. See, y'all be playing on us, but hell is literally in Michigan. Oh, you were actually stationed in Ohio for 6 years? Oh, man. What part did they have you in? Oh, you said it ain't Kool-Aid? Look. All I know is I'm safe. I'm in the safe zone. Wherever everybody else is in Ohio, I pray for their water. I pray for their water. The Ohio State. Oh, you were near Dayton and Cincinnati? You were close to the Indiana border. First off, Cincinnati is dope. Dayton is dope. The fact that you said that, oh, that's crazy, Tyree. That's crazy. You were actually in some good parts. Hi, everyone checking in before Ground Invite. What's going on, John? Welcome to the stream. You came in right on time because I'm also going to be heading out too in about 17 minutes. Yo, them three-eyed fishies, them three-eyed Simpson fishes.
Education in Ohio be like, my guy learned Islam on the back of a milk carton.
Dang,
Bro actually
they
got his
roasting
degree
him.
from McDonald's drive-thru. Bro graduated from Reddick University. I was a Muslim before and still a Muslim after watching this videos. Thanks, brother. So far, as you can see,
Dang,
the top
they
comments
roasted
mostly
him.
imply that I'm dumb and wrong, but none of the comments actually attempted to explain why I was wrong, as other observers were quick to point out in other comments. As we continue to read, the first comment that actually did attempt to...
Hold on. I want to go back real quick. Comments are proving him right. No counter arguments, just insults to be expected. Bro, you should have played your TikTok, because what was your TikTok about? I see no actual arguments in the comments. Why aren't the Muslims in the comments actually trying to prove him wrong instead of making jokes or bringing up it's the heart that's blind, which is completely irrelevant? It's funny how no Muslim in the comment tried to prove him wrong. Wonder why that is. And a lot of hate being put up in this comment section, but not many counter arguments.
Prove me wrong. It
Sir,
said,
what was your
as a
TikTok
Muslim,
about?
I only have one thing to say. Allah is the most merciful. And here it seems like she's quoting from Quran 39:53, which claims that Allah is the most merciful. Now, I appreciate her at least trying to show why I'm wrong, but the only problem is, notice how her comment doesn't say that God loves non-believers and sinners. It only says that God is the most merciful. And the same thing can be said about other comments that weren't merely insults. They quote a verse as saying that Allah loves those who repent, or that Allah is the most loving or the most compassionate, but what none of them say is that
Hey,
Allah
Ding
loves
Dong,
those
what's
who are
going on? Welcome
sinners
to the
and those who
stream.
don't believe in him.
I
which was the
appreciate you for
entire
popping
point
back
that
in.
I was
Thank
making
you.
in that video. And unfortunately, after this comment, we get right back to the same old comments as usual. Hey bro, which dollar?
Tyree said, I have visited Cedar Point, Lands of Illusion. When they built the Big Butter Jesus statue. And shortly after I left, it was struck by lightning and burnt down. Yo. At least you got a chance to go to Cedar Point and Lands of Illusion. I don't even know what that is. I never got to see the Butter Jesus. I saw it on the news, but I never got to see that in person. So at least you saw something that was cool while you were here. That's just funny. Hold on. I gotta see if I can find it on Google real quick before we even finish this video. Here we go. Big Butter Jesus. I gotta show y'all the image of this. Here it is. Monroe, Ohio. Oh, that's a little picture. Hold on. Size. I gotta make it large. Here it is. This right here, y'all. This is this Big Butter Jesus. Oh, and it took me back to the little picture. All right, whatever. You guys can see it right here. Big Butter Jesus. Hey, at least you got to see it while you're here in Ohio. I'm not gonna lie, we do have some weird stuff from time to time. We do. Now I think about it, I think I actually did get to see this before it got struck down. Now I think about it. I think I saw this on the way to us driving to the college I never went to. Like, we drove all the way down to this college. I did registration and everything because they claimed I had a scholarship. Did all this stuff. Leading up to it, my mom bought me, like, dishes, microwave. We get to the month I'm supposed to leave. They gonna call the house talking about, hey, it's been a mistake. We didn't mean to send you that acceptance letter. You didn't actually get the scholarship. Boy, the saltiness. The saltiness on my face. If you're in the Missouri, Arkansas area, visit Silver Dollar City. What's up in Silver Dollar City? Is it Land O'Lakes butter? It's not Land O'Lakes butter. Yeah, it was huge. Oh man. You said where's a baked potato when you need one? Oh, Ding Dong said it's a potato in the White House. This shot's fired. All right. We got to get back to the video because I leave in like 12 minutes. He said slapping Jesus butter on anything.
What store did you graduate from? Bro's got his knowledge from the KFC menu.
Oh man,
or
hold on.
my personal favorite,
It's
Bro
funny.
graduated from the cereal box.
Oh man.
Now hold on for a second because I know what you're thinking because it's probably what I was thinking. At first glance, these comments are probably what you would expect from Insecurity and couldn't possibly.
You said visit Sight and Sound in Missouri. I'm gonna have to check it out. And you said Worlds of Fun in Kansas City. Okay. I'm gonna have to. It's gonna have to go on a list. I'm gonna have to hit it at some point, but it's gonna go on the list.
Possibly convince anyone that Islam is true, because I mean, there's virtually no arguments being made in any of these comments. But as I dug deeper, I not only saw hundreds of comments repeating the same sentence, I was a Muslim before watching this video,
Tech boy,
and
you
now
miss
I'm
Butter
still a
Jesus.
Muslim. But I also saw a comment from a Muslim saying that the comments on the video were so convincing that it made her faith stronger. The comment section of this video restored my faith in the Ummah, mashallah. Whole squad came through. I'm gonna just sit back and read now. So this made me wonder, was I missing something? Because for me personally, seeing a comment section like this would only lead me to conclude that no adequate response could be given, since there literally weren't any refutations in any of the top comments. I mean, to find those comments persuasive is to confuse mockery and the appearance of solidarity with a sound refutation. But surely these commenters couldn't be that gullible and all incapable of thinking for themselves, could they? That wasn't a conclusion that I was willing to accept that easily. And so I decided to dig deeper into the comments once again. I continued to read hundreds and hundreds of comments until I found one type of response.
Bro, we are like halfway through his video, and so far all he's talking about is the comments he's received. Sir, what did you talk about for all these Muslims to get on your neck like this?
That gave me genuine pause, and it caused me to think deeper about
like, I know what you said, but
these
where's the
comments
video?
came from Muslims who were fine with admitting that Allah didn't love everyone, and so rather than criticizing me for acknowledging this clear teaching in the Quran, they instead decided to criticize God and Christianity for being all-loving. If you love everyone, your love loses value. If you love your enemies, then they are not your enemies. Literally, loving enemy is not applicable, and that's why it is not found in Islam, because it is a contradiction. If I love an enemy, it is not an enemy anymore. Now, of course, the problem with these comments is that they fail to acknowledge what it means to love your enemies. Agape love in the Bible, the type of love that God is said to have for us, is described as self-sacrificial action that you take for the sake of an individual. Like the love that a parent has for their child, you do what's best for them at your own expense. But I'm not gonna lie, thinking about these comments gave me a bit of pause and led me to consider what this meant for the truth of Christianity. I mean, really think about it. If someone was planning on inventing a religion that would spread all around the world during the 1st century, no one in their right mind would ever think in a million years that the best way to get your message out would be to do it by telling your small and persecuted sect to not retaliate to insults and abuse. And not just that, but rather than destroying their enemies, they're commanded to love them instead. If anything, this would seem like the absolute worst religion to invent if you wanted the religion to spread. This follows from the commands that the founder of Christianity gave his followers, and he set the example for us by doing so himself. On the other hand, and as we all know, Muhammad took a more practical approach, one that I think most of us would actually think would be the best way to spread a religion, especially during that time. Fight your enemies and those that oppose you, because on the surface, this seems...
You said, who is this dude? This is What Do You Meme from YouTube. I kind of just clicked on it because it said Muslims lose their minds over my video. So I guess he put a video on TikTok explaining why I guess why the God of the Quran is not the same as like the God in Christianity. And he, more than half the video was like he was going over his comment section, just roasting him, because his comment section was like a bunch of Muslims that was like, this dude don't know nothing. But you said, I see your other one up here. It says, God's a God of truth. Why is he not just getting to his point? Yeah, he kind of taking forever to get to this.
To be the most logical and the most intuitive path to take. But against all odds, Christianity became the only truly global religion, since the majority of the followers of all of the other major world religions,
yeah, they did. They
dogpiled
on him hard.
Where the religion started. Christianity truly is a cross-cultural and a world religion, which is something that we might expect from a God who loves all of his creation and not only those who believe in him. Now, of course, this doesn't prove that Christianity is true, but it does seem to make a lot more sense to me, at least, as to why it could be. Now, I'm sure there's Muslims that are watching that are saying to themselves, although God doesn't love his enemies in Islam, the Quran is clear that Allah does love those who love him. And so they believe that Allah loves them and other Muslims. And if that's you, I want to leave you with this question. Since the truest and the deepest love will cost you something and will be self-sacrificial, what did it cost God to love you? I mean, it's easy to simply say that we love someone, but we all know that true love will cost you something. Just telling someone that you love them is quite another thing than showing them through self-sacrificial actions. On Christianity, the reason why I know that God loves me is not just because he said it, but because he also proved it with his actions at his own expense. Once again, this goes against all of our intuitions, but God proved to you that he loved you by putting on human flesh, making himself lower than the angels, and then dying at the hands of his enemies, also that way you could have everlasting life with him in his presence. It cost God something to love you. He didn't just say it, he showed it. You might be hearing this and think that it still sounds ridiculous and you can't believe it, and I get that. But just imagine the depths of the love that God would have for you if it were true. Just something to think about. And lastly, if you're one of the Muslims that have sent me death threats over the years, I think you should know that I have a message for you in this video. So go ahead and click here and I'll see you over there.
Yeah. That took him a minute to get to the point, but you said test, is the chat working? Yeah, bro. We've been seeing you talk. We've been seeing you talk. We even responded to you. KF even responded to you. Yeah, so Ning Nong says they believe that the line was Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael instead of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they believe Jesus was just a prophet who lived and died and never rose again. Yep. But they do believe they came from Abraham, though. So just like the Jews, they believe their father was Abraham, too. That's why the three of us are the Abrahamic religions. It just turns into all the differences after that. All the little differences. All right, y'all. Well, this has been a fun stream, even though it's been short. Because it was about to get better, but I told you I had to get off around 9. Just because, you know, I had to respect the bedtime of the people in my house right now. So I will be hopping off. I will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. EST, as usual, for another episode of the Conservative Christian Show with me. It's your girl Sang. And I hope to see all of y'all tomorrow. If you're free, if you're available, make sure, like I said earlier, somebody did shoot up that Christian school earlier today. I believe it was in Nashville. But pray for those families, right? Because 6 people end up dying. It was 3 adults, 3 students. Pray for the families that were involved in all of that because they're going to need it. And also pray for Tech Boy. He did say earlier in the chat, you know, it's hard for him being in school. It leads him to have like depression sometimes due to his mindset, because his mindset is like ours, but he's just a kid. So, you know, pray for him tonight as well. And I'm gonna look into some stuff for you as well, Tech Boy. Just see if there's some programs where you live with some other kids that think like you, because that'd be very beneficial, especially for your age. So y'all make sure y'all do that, and I will see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna run my intro one more time to get out of here, just as an outro, and I'll see y'all. I'll see y'all then. Yep, take care, y'all. Jesus is awesome. Yep, I'll see all y'all tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see all y'all tomorrow. So till then, peace out.